All right, what is up, guys? Happy Monday. Let's attack the week. Start with gold. Start with gold, ladies and gents. We're obviously bearish on the 2-hour time frame here. Bearish on the 1 as well. And then I believe we're bullish on the 4. Yes, we are bullish on the 4. Our 4-hourly low is all the way up to here, and that's probably also a valid daily low, I have a feeling. Okay, it's not a daily low. This is our daily low. Okay, so this is the daily low, and then I think this might be a valid 4-hour low. Let's double check. Yeah. This is our valid 4-hour low. I'm actually just going to draw that easier on the eyes. Boom. There we go. Perfect. So we can actually go lower. Like, we can go as far as here and still be bullish on the 4-hour and just create that higher low for a higher high, if you know what I mean. So yeah, given that, and then given we are bearish on the hour and the 2-hour, I wouldn't mind seeing a distribution here, but I just don't think it will play out personally, just because of how low we're going right now. So I'll still draw this out, but as I've said, I don't expect it to play out. For this to play out, we're going to need to start moving, pushing up quite soon. And I feel like we are running out of room to do that, but you never know. Asia high is range high and Asia low is range low, so this is interesting to see. Yeah, let's see what happens here. Ideally we start doing this, but I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, let's just see how this plays out, and we'll leave this as is. We are, yeah, pretty much all higher time frames are bullish, so I wouldn't mind seeing a distribution, just so then we can create an accumulation with the distribution, just something like this. Boom. And then we come back lower, and then that's our little accumulation model with tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. Not the best drawing, but you get the gist. So yeah, let's just see how this plays out for now. Let's move on to silver. Still bullish on the hourly. And the 3-hour is bearish, with this being our 3-hour market structure high. Obviously 4-hour would still be bearish as well. And then the daily is still bearish. I don't think anything's really changed here. So we can expect to go lower, and then the weekly. I think someone's calling me. Okay, apologies, not sure what's happened there. And then, yeah, obviously the weekly here, as we can see, is still very much so bullish. So yeah, hourly is bullish, with this being our telling this is our hourly low. Yeah, this is our market structure low on the hour, so we can definitely expect to go higher, potentially into this third tab, but I have a feeling time wise it's not that valid anymore. So tap 1 to tap 2, 1 day 1 hour, tap 2 to present. Yeah, it's getting close. And here as well, this being pretty market structure like, so I was looking at this the other day where I did my weekend pre-planning, and yeah, I was kind of leaning towards this being a new range, so I feel like now is the time to redraw this range, as this just looks a lot cleaner. Yeah, looks a lot cleaner, so let's see how this plays out. We'll leave this as is, and then from a local market structure point of view, not really a whole lot I'm interested in doing. Asia low has been taken, Asia high has been taken. Yeah, kind of ugly price action pretty locally, so let's just leave this as is, and yeah, hopefully play out and get that distribution down the track. Looking at oil's absolutely dumped into this demand POI. They've also grabbed extreme liquidity here. This is going to be interesting. I have a feeling we've definitely broken to bearish on the hourly. Yeah, clean break there. Oh yeah, I would not be looking to long anything just yet. Like, you got a clean break, you've got a lot of supply being left behind. You've even got supply above, which hasn't been mitigated fully. So there is quite a lot of reason for price to continue going lower. You might get a local scalp here. I can see that happening just because of the clean return to zone and the aggressive move down. We can expect some price recovery back up. So I wouldn't mind a little scalp accumulation there. Let's just see how we're looking. Obviously the hourly is bearish, so just keep that in mind. Boom. There's our supply. And then looking at the 4 hour. So we are still bearish on the 4. Yeah, still bearish on the 4, and then the daily. I have a feeling the daily is still bullish. Yep. Daily is still very much so bullish. That is fine. So I wouldn't mind looking for a very low time frame scalp at the moment. The return to zone so far is beautiful. It's obviously quite low time frame, but if the prerequisites are there, then Asia high is unswept. Asia low has been taken. So far I like how this looks. Is this going to be a valid POI is my question. If this gets mitigated right now, then I'm not interested in trading this. I need price to just move in here a little bit more and then come down for that third tap and then break. something like that. If we break this right now, then this is obviously not a model whatsoever. POI wise, it has been mitigated, but I will use this as my unmitigated area with a little bit of liquidity as well. You can make an exception. Obviously, when price mitigates a demand, it's not deemed as liquidity, but based on the time frame duration of this model, and then also that we have actually not created an imbalance post mitigating demand and we've come back, we can view this as correct liquidity. You can even actually use this as liquidity for a better POI. So yeah, let's see how price moves. But as I've said, if we sweep this right now, then I'm not looking for a trade here. These tap 2 and 3 are just way too close to each other. I need price to develop a bit more. But yeah, if it doesn't, no trade. Pretty simple. Pretty simple. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah, that's kind of it for oil. Move on AED CAD. Well, we're bullish now on the hour. We are very much so bullish. If we're bullish on all time frames here, which seems to be the way, I would not be looking to scalp short anything here. Yeah, everything's bullish, so let's just be patient. The one thing I would do is look for a mitigation of this demand if we can get it. Otherwise, just leave this as is and wait for better price action to develop. Don't try and force anything. There might even be some demand here, potentially. Okay, what I will do is, which I haven't actually done yet, is look at our weekly open. Okay, weekly open has been grabbed here. That was it there. Weekly open has not been grabbed on silver and looks quite good. Could be a great confluence for later in the week if we can get that distribution. So we will see. Obviously, that is a big if. We've looked at gold. Well, there's the oil weekly open. If I do get confirmations, but I don't think I will. Looks like we're going to mitigate this demand pretty soon, and then if we do, as I've said, it will be a no trade. But if my plan does go to fruition and we start ranging a little bit here locally, and then we come back down, creating that return to zone, mitigating demand. Obviously, if break obstruction, all that is clean, I will consider de-risking here, waiting to see what happens when we hit this supply. and potentially letting a runner, because this weekly open is a great target for price to come back to. So yeah, it'd be sort of like a de-risk TP1 for the rest of TP here. But obviously that's planning quite a bit ahead, so we'll see what happens. Okay, AUD CAD, as I was saying. Yeah, weekly open got grabbed here. Yeah, pretty bullish, breaking through supply as we can see. Yeah, just not a whole lot to work off at the moment, so kind of going to need to be patient and see how price develops. There's really not a whole lot to work off. Yeah, we'll leave this as is. Enter DCAD. Ran through supply, and I think it's grabbed our weekly open as well. There's our daily high still. Still bullish on the hourly, as we can see. We are now officially bullish on the 4. And obviously that is our daily high that we spoke about. We're not bullish on the 18 hour just yet. Just an FYI. Actually, we broke to bullish on the 18 hour there. But this is invalid market structure because we've only got one bullish candle. So yeah, we are bullish on the 18 hours, right? We're just not bullish on the daily. We've obviously got demand below, so quite heavy. And then the weekly, I believe, is still bullish, yeah. Yep. That's been mitigated, so I think it is just that hourly demand, which is valid, yeah. Obviously, we'll need to double check this on the lower time frame as well. Weekly open has been grabbed. Yeah, valid demand, so we'll keep an eye out for a accumulation at this demand POI. And for now, we will see what happens. I think realistically, we might even get an accumulation here. It's a bit too low time frame. It's like a 3-hour range here. Yeah, let's just see what happens. Not the cleanest price action, that's for sure. Still reason to go lower, so I'd be definitely trading this with a grain of salt. That's been mitigated. Yeah, then everything here is just quite clean, to be honest, and we do have some liquidity here as well. So yeah, I can see quite a bit of reason to go lower, at least for now. Therefore, I would not be rushing to trade this just yet. Okay. Let's have a look at Euro USD. There's the weekly open, which has been grabbed as well. Boom. Still bullish on the hourly, still bullish on everything else pretty much, with the exception of the daily and the weekly. Yeah. Yeah, so contextually nothing really has changed. Let's give this more time and see how price develops. Maybe we get some demand in there. I don't know if we will. Not really. Yeah, I'm just going to leave this as is for now. Like for me, this isn't the cleanest. I would not be looking at trading this. It's just way too market structure like. So let's move on. Similar story here. Nothing has changed contextually speaking. And we have continued to leave behind supply. In terms of the weekly open, that's been grabbed. And I'm not looking at using this as a supply POI. As you can see here quite clearly, it has been mitigated on the lower time frame. Therefore, it's not of interest to me. Yeah, and then nothing really, like it's clean supply, but nothing really here to draw any sort of range from. Do expect lower, so let's just see what happens. Asia high and low has not been grabbed. Okay, we'll leave that as is and we'll see what happens. Yeah, nothing really at the moment. GBP JPY looks quite bearish, breaking through demand. Is that valid supply above? Let's have a look. It is valid supply. Also, the weekly open has been grabbed as well. Just an FYI there. Yeah, similar to the other models, nothing really worth drawing at the moment. I do expect lower. So let's just be patient. USD CAD still bearish here. I would look at potentially something like this, which could align nicely with the supply here. So we'll see should and if we get this to play out. There is a bit of demand here, but hypothetically this all plays out. By the time you get to here, you'll already have a great opportunity to de-risk. So just, yeah, be mindful of that. And yeah, let's just wait for this to play out. Weekly open grabbed here as well. Asia high has been grabbed as well. Asia low is just chilling near the range low, so could be a good liquidity target this, even with the demand here. As we do know, Asia low is quite the magnet for price, so even if there's a little bit of demand, you can kind of ignore it, just knowing that the Asia low is a much greater liquidity pool than a demand is protection of it. So let's see if we get something here. Yeah, obviously still bearish on the hourly and still bearish on the 4 as well. And then the daily, is that still bullish? Yeah, daily is still bullish. So we will see what happens. You know what, I will move this to the top for now. Let's have a look at GBP USD. I'm not liking it at first glance. Like, we have mitigated supply, which is always a great POI, but we're in this. This is long gone, this ranging environment. Absolutely long gone. I'm also going to remove all this just to clean up the price action here. So yeah, as you can see, we're quite ranging quite a bit. We can potentially look at this as a higher time frame distribution range. Still a bit to go. Yeah, we are bullish on the 4, bullish on the 1. And yeah, bearish on the daily for now, so yeah, I'm kind of just wanting to see how this plays out. Ideally the pre-plan here would be a accumulation model here, which we can then take all the way into this range high for our first deviation. So that would be what I'm looking for. Obviously only time would tell, but that's the context that I'm building here. So yeah, let's see if we get that. In terms of a weekly open, yeah, weekly open has been grabbed here. So yeah, just not a whole lot that I'm interested in doing at the moment. I do want to prioritize a demand mitigation here, but there's no ranging environment at the moment, so we'll just be patient and see what happens. USD CHF. Yeah, quite bearish here. Very much so still. Always still, fam. Very much so still bearish, you know. Don't know. Okay, yeah, still quite bearish. We'll always grab that liquidity, but I feel like it's just too close. I'll have a look at it in a minute. Okay. There is our weekly open. Which has not been grabbed. Which is a good target, especially if we are forming a distribution later on. Aligning with the mid to lower time frame bearish context. This is my range for the time being. So once again, I do want a bit more time. I need a bit more time for price to develop. We got a few things here. We got a weekly low, we got an Asia low right above it. Weekly open, sorry, and an Asia low right above it. So I can definitely see price coming to sweep this. It's more so a matter of when, not if. We just need a confirmation. That's pretty much all we need. But yeah, ideally I want price to come up, create that distribution, and then grab the Asia and weekly open. So let's see what happens. We will move that towards the top. And yeah, I believe we are still bullish on the daily. Yeah, for now, that's our daily low. So we might soon be bearish, but for now we are still bullish on the daily. Okay, some interesting price action here. Very interesting price action here on USD CHF. Move that to second. Now before I go to Euro GBP, let's just double check oil. It is just too low time frame. Well, it's mitigated demand as well. So there you go. But yeah, look how. So yeah, so not only too low time frame, but look how close these taps are to each other. If I was to zoom out on like the 15-minute, this is all just one move. This is not a tap 2 and a tap 3 in any form whatsoever. So we will leave this as is. Euro GBP. Yeah, still bearish on the hourly. Still bullish on the 4. We've SFP'd the 4-hour low. So we can expect a full rotation up. We'll double check to see if this is valid supply. So far it does look like a clean topping formation with supply forming and liquidity being grabbed. Well, it might not be the cleanest supply being formed. Okay, so we do have a valid overlapping, borderline overlapping supply, so we can use this for now. If this wasn't there, I would not be using this supply block. So for now, this is valid. Just ever so slightly. But yeah, 4 hour is still bullish. Daily, is that bearish? Yeah, yes it is. Weekly's bearish. Yeah, we can expect lower. Some nice sell side liquidity forming here. Really, really nice. So yeah, context or plan here is just look for shorts. Nothing has presented itself at the moment, so we do just need to be patient. And that is all. Yeah, that's all I can give for this, for Euro GBP. So I wouldn't be drawing any sort of price action just yet, or any sort of ranges just yet. Let's just be patient and see how this develops. Okay, AUD USD, let's move on. Did I look at the weekly open? I think I did. Yeah, I think the weekly open was like somewhere up here, wasn't it? It was like in there. Okay, it has been grabbed. Okay, let's move on with AUD USD. Well, we went to bearish, technically, yeah, we went to bullish. Now we went to bearish, that is... Technically, we are still bullish on the hourly, yeah. This is bullish on the hour. And it's bullish on the 4. Probably still bearish on the daily, I would take a hint. Yeah. Yeah, our daily high is all the way up there. Yeah, not a whole lot to do at the moment. Weekly opener has been grabbed. Yeah, it's just a kind of awkward range which needs quite a bit more time. So I will be leaving this as is. Oh, we don't really need it, but Asia high is here. Yeah. Not a whole lot to do for AUD USD. Well, we did go to bearish at one point. Now we have gone to bullish. And we are still bullish on the hour. Still bullish on the 4, leaving demand below. Still, and we're bullish on the daily as well. Yeah. So yeah, we can expect to go higher. Yeah. Can expect to go higher. There is demand.
Sorry, I don't understand.
Well, that's the first time that's happened. Can expect to go higher. Ironically, we have two potential distribution models forming, which are counter context, but obviously we're going to see if the confluences are in our favor. At the moment, they're not, so just be mindful of that before doing anything. Maybe even a little scalping here. Targeting the weekly open, which I believe is right there. Yeah, there is the weekly open at the range low. Asia low and high has been grabbed, which I'm already starting to like this range a little less. This might be valid demand. Yeah, it's not the cleanest demand. It really isn't. Yeah, it's just not that clean. Plain and simple. We'll see how this plays out, but I'm not really too keen on this range just yet. I would rather focus on this higher time frame range, so preferably we do something like this. Mitigate this and then continue higher. So we'll see what happens. I'll move this to 4th for now. GBP NZD. Well, we are still bearish on the hourly, still bearish on the 4. Are we still bullish on the daily? Have we broken structure? No, still bullish on the daily. Yeah, so contextually speaking, nothing has really changed. I'm not going to remove this as I'm not going to use that anymore, but I will look at this price action. It is semi-counter context. It is to be said that we have grabbed extreme liquidity. And yes, we have left a little bit of demand below, but it's not a necessity that we have to grab it. Looking at the weekly open. Weekly open has been grabbed. This is my extreme liquidity. I don't think we're going to come back down to grab this personally. Yeah. It's also Asia low, so just be mindful of that. Yeah, not the most valid model. We'll continue monitoring. AUD CHF still bullish on the hourly, probably still bullish on the 4. We have left behind somewhat of a supply POI. And then the weekly open, where are you? It's here, on the money. Weekly open has just been grabbed. Oh, it probably would have been grabbed earlier as well. Yeah, for this model here as well, not a whole lot that I'm too interested in. We are expecting higher. Let's look for a retracement off this demand POI. Other than that, nothing really clean. Great liquidity above. I feel like that's going to get grabbed at some point. Euro NZD. We might be bullish on the hour now. I could be right, I could be wrong. Yeah, so we are bullish on the hour. Are we bullish on the 4? Not yet. Just on the hour. Nice little accumulation here. Quite clean, to be honest. Really clean. Maybe this tap was a little higher than anticipated, but we have accumulated. Yeah, this is an ugly extended range with quite a bit of supply above. Yeah, I'm not really too much of like a rushed state to try and trade anything here. I'm just gonna let price play out, gather a bit more data. Yeah, just not a whole lot that interests me for now. And yeah, that is it for today, guys. Yeah, still bearish on the 4. Still bearish on the daily. Yeah, just not a whole lot to do for the time being. Is this valid supply? I don't think it is. Pretty confident it's been mitigated on the lower time frame. Yeah, it's all just liquidity on the lower time frame. But yeah, that concludes today's market check. So to summarize, we've got this model which is still half at play on gold. We'll see what happens there. Silver, focus on the higher time frame range. Oil, we got a perfect mitigation of this, but it's just too close of a tap. Even if this plays out, I'm not interested in it. It's not how I trade. And then yeah, we've got something potential on USD CAD. See what happens. Focus on the higher time frame range there. USD CHF once again. Focus on the higher time frame range. Great Asia low and weekly open right next to each other. But I can also see us doing something like this and never actually getting the confirmation. Maybe we form a little internal model here. Bang, bang, bang. And come lower. That's also possible. So once again, only time will tell. AED CAD, just be patient here. Wait for demand mitigations, and then yeah, we've kind of gone through the rest of this. So yeah, just be patient. You've got your alerts set, and we'll see what happens. Thank you for listening, for viewing, subscribe if you made it this far, and I'll catch you all in tomorrow's update. Oos.